After Kid Kobe was kidnapped by Blackbeard, he ended up on the island where you blink once, and 20 pirates are on your back to steal your wallet. Will Kobe be able to escape this gang of thugs? The episode starts with a girl in glass slippers flying through a dark dungeon. Two guys were playing cards, and she calls them a bunch of unemployed bums. She demands they hand over the cell keys. The punks asked who she thinks she is. She was none other than Zoro's #1 fan. In goth style, Perona summoned ghosts 100 times creepier than those from Thriller Bark. She charged at the scaredy cats, and they started trembling. Instantly, they became more depressed than a fan of Belle Delphine, saying they were as cowardly as a fly on a pile of dung. Perona smirked slyly and grabbed the keys easier than taking candy from a baby. Meanwhile, what was Kobe up to? Just some calisthenics, doing handstand push-ups with the weight of that cannonball on his foot. The ghost girl passed cell after cell, but only found guys who didn't seem very eager to leave, until she found a weirdo upside down who lost his balance when he saw her. He even took off his glasses to not look like a nerdy fan of My Hero Academia. She gave him a thorough look and asked if he was the famous hero Kobe who stopped the Great War. Yet he still got captured, so he was nothing but a weakling. But she was in a good mood and said she would help him get out. All he needed to do was free Master Moria, who was in a separate cell. Pink Hair asked if Gecko Moria was also there and if she wanted him to cooperate with pirates, and that was exactly it, because the boss's life was in danger. She wanted him, a marine captain, to help a dangerous pirate like Moria escape. She must be out of her mind, right? 2 minutes later, a cowboy bursts into a bar, yelling that Captain Kobe escaped from Hakinosu, the pirate island. But instead of being worried, these bastards were thrilled, because now that he escaped, he wasn't Blackbeard's prey anymore. So, the Cross Guild would be paying for his head. Kobe was still a big catch because marine captains are usually worth only 1 star. But the kid was tough, right? So Mihawk and Crocodile were offering a 5-star bounty, worth 5 treasure chests of 500 million berries each. They got all hyped and started hunting him like crazy. But of course, he didn't want to escape alone. He was taking a bunch of slaves with him. He told them to stop calling themselves slaves because they were just a bunch of victims who unfortunately got captured by pirates. This giant skull had a life of its own and was making a mean face, and it wasn't even hungry. His name was Pizarro, and he was feeling an unbearable itch on his left pec, which happened to be where the slaves to be sold at the auction were kept. He got furious, saying the slaves had escaped, and the thugs were all happy, asking if they could go chop them up, but obviously not. The skull ordered them to bring everyone back alive, especially Kobe, or else he would snitch to Teach. The slaves couldn't understand how that boulder was talking. Kobe told them to run to escape in time, but they gave up and told him to escape alone because they would only slow him down. But he begged them not to lose hope like that, because he was going to use himself as bait so they could escape. He took off running, and everyone started crying with happiness. Shiryu of the Rain shows up, asking why Pizarro himself doesn't capture them, and he says if he does that, Teach will skin him alive. And this crew is full of crazies with overpowered devil fruits. While Shiryu had the invisibility fruit that belonged to that pervert Absalom, Pizarro had the island fruit, and whenever he moves, he breaks something. Vasco Shot shows up after downing his 8th bottle of booze, asking if he can go after them. The mage and bull-looking guy said if they set the whole town on fire, they'd have nowhere to run, and this bastard's devil fruit had the power to make him drunk, because why not? But the statue man was already telling him to drop it because he would cause a massive fire, and Teach would be furious. Then the baby Thais Carla asks if he'd rather let Wolf handle it, but that was out of the question. That guy was Thais Carla's dad. If he moved, the whole town would be wiped off the face of the earth like Lelusia. Kobe was sneaking around, trying to buy more time for the slaves to escape, but everywhere he went, there were pirates after him, until he bumps into some magic balloons from this frog-faced girl and turns all red and kawaii. He apologizes, but she says he doesn't need to because she's going to make a fortune by bringing in Mr. 5 Star's head. Kobe, being no fool, takes off. A bunch of thugs chasing him, and he almost gets shot in the air like Donald Trump. 20 people chasing him, and the kid was just thinking about buying more time for the slaves to escape. And now comes the flashback of Kobe coming face to face with the dreaded Blackbeard. Check out the monstrous aura of this guy. He tells Kobe he wants to turn Hakinosu into a recognized nation, a nation that partners with the world government. The usual corruption, right? They pay a fee to the celestial dragons, and in return, the Marines can't hunt the pirates on the island. And there were Teach's badass crew members. Van Augur with such precise aim he can hit you on the move from 3 countries away. Pizarro, who broke his teeth from eating too many rocks. Doc Q, who sneezes and gives you leptospirosis. Vasco Shot, who wants to drink all the booze in the world. Shiryu, who does obscene things while invisible. And of course, the ex-admiral of the Marines who turned to a life of crime, Kazana Kiji. Not wanting to spoil anything, but this guy's going to be dangerous. Ha! Marshal D. Teach wanted to become the king of the nation, of the Blackbeard Kingdom, and he asks what Kobe thinks, but the kid says it's ridiculous. No one would accept a pirate country in the government, but the bastard tells him not to throw cold water on his dream. After all, people's dreams never end, right? And he's going to use Kobe as a bargaining chip, but the kid says that would be the the biggest waste of time, because he's a member of SWORD. The big nose had no idea what he was talking about. So Akiji, who knew a bit about the Marines, told him to give up on the exchange, because since Kobe is from SWORD, it means he is but isn't part of the Marines at the same time. He gave up his honor code, so it's like he's a Marine soldier who resigned. That means he can fight any Yonko without asking for permission from the higher-ups. They can do whatever they want and ignore government orders. But of course, because of that, the Marines don't care about him. He can be executed, beaten, tortured, and they won't give a damn about the kid. And Big Nose says that's the difference between those errand boys who need permission to attack. But he's still not changing his plans. He's going to try the exchange anyway, because even if he's from this SWORD thing, everyone calls him a hero. Will the Marines really abandon him like that? Because if you don't know, the world government is just like the heroes and the boys. They don't want the world to know the truth about the crimes they commit. So if needed, they do what they did with Lelusia and wipe out the entire country. Teach says he's sure it will work, and tells them to take him to the brig in the meantime. Back to the present, Kobe was still running from that bunch of pirates eager for his head. He was still worried because he helped a pirate, but he had to do it to escape. Right, as if it wasn't a pirate who saved him in the first episode of the anime. At the port, there was a long-haired guard who just wanted to go after the 5 stars now, but he spots a Marine ship arriving sneakily. Kobe was hiding behind some crates and hears an explosion in the middle of the town, while the pirates shouted that 3 Marine soldiers were kicking butt. He didn't understand anything and asks if someone came to save him, but immediately he turns red, saying he has no right to wish for that. There were 3 Marine guerrillas beating the crap out of those low-tier pirates. They looked like twins. They were so alike. One of them was Luffy of the Straw Hat. He ate too much meat and grew a little mobster mustache so no one would recognize him, but you can't fool the old man here. Right, they were getting showered with bullets, but it had no effect. The Straw Hat Kid even got shot in the left eye, but he was totally fine. One of the big guys even lost his head to get smart, but he turned into a clay blob and just reformed himself. A bearded pirate said some buildings were moving, and the Aladdin guy told him he was just too drunk, but there was a girl whipping the wall, telling it to be a good boy and move along. She kept whipping the building and cursing at it like a crazy person. She looks at those two and asks why they are staring at her. Looks like they want to be the next ones to play with her. They trembled when they saw she was from the Marines. That was Kajaku, Rear Admiral of the Marines and SWORD. She invited those babies to come have some fun with her. Meanwhile, Kobe was already surrounded by thugs pointing some serious firepower at him, and even though Pizarro ordered them to bring the kid alive, they were getting ready to unleash a hail of bullets on him. It seemed like it was over, but on that Marine ship was Tashiji with her 4 eyes, the reincarnation of Kuina, and of course, the mighty and true hero of the Marines with fire in his eyes, telling his young grasshopper Kobe to hold on because daddy's coming, and the episode ends. In the spoilers for episode 11-14, the warship of the big dog comes flying full speed over the island, and along with that punk Helmeppo comes none other than Vice Admiral Garp, who was eager to beat everyone up and save Kobe from there. Also, there's this budget Zoro and the cute Hibari with her rifle, all set to rescue the kid. The title of the next episode is, For the Cherished Pupil, The Fist of Vice Admiral Garp, and that was the recap of One Piece episode 11-13. Get ready because the upcoming episodes are going to be on fire. You're going to witness real power now. Garp, at 80 years old, is going to punch these punks out with his eyes closed. If you enjoyed this insane episode, you know what to do. Leave a big fat like and subscribe to the channel so we can hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. We just need 999,430 more, I believe. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm out of here. Cheers and peace.